Obviously, some things to sort through with Trump's historic arraignment, both legally and politically. So joining us this morning is Paul Henderson, a legal and political analyst. Paul, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing pretty good. I want to ask you this. We obviously know this indictment isn't necessarily disqualifying, at least legally speaking. So what are the consequences, if any, of this indictment and the potential trial as it relates to Trump's 2024 campaign?
Yeah, well, it looks like for this case, I don't know that this case is going to derail the campaign, but the significance of this case, and keep in mind, this is a complicated case that is going in layers. There's both a misdemeanor and a felony involved, but they're all backpacking on top of each other in order to get to a conviction. In just this case, I believe that the conviction in this case, because keep in mind, there are other pending investigations circling around Trump, but I think the significance of this one is that this is where the sheen comes off of Donald Trump's invincibility and vulnerability about criminal charges. This is the first time where we're going to see him fingerprinted. We're going to see him facing criminal charges. We're going to see him in a court. We're going to see him being charged by a prosecutor. And I think that's significant. I think it's significant in terms of how we see him in this country. I also think it's significant in terms of the subjective and intransigent decisions that are being made about him in these subsequent investigations where he's likely to be charged as well. And so that's why this matters. That's why we're all paying attention, not for the least of which that this is the first time that we've seen a former president charged in this way for criminal acts. And so this is a big deal. Whether or not it derails his entire campaign, I don't think that it's going to do that. If anything, we already know that the president is going to try and make something of this to build out a firmer foundation. But it's important that this first step is happening right now, and it's right here, and it's in New York.
Okay, so these Manhattan indictments may not even present the biggest legal threat to Donald Trump. So are the other investigations that Trump are involved in similar to any we've seen with past presidencies? Any insight on that?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely not. I mean, the other cases that are involved, the investigation involved Georgia, where we have the election campaign tampering. That's a big deal. There's still a big case in New York that involves his entire family for overvaluation over a 15-year period. If that case is successful, the entire Trump family will be blocked from doing any business inside of New York. The two federal investigations that take place for the January 6th insurrection and for the documents found at Mar-a-Lago, I mean, there's a number of charges. We've never seen an ex-president charged with this level of criminal conduct, and this is all unprecedented. We've never had a president like Donald Trump. We've never seen recorded behavior like we have with Donald Trump. We've heard him say that he is unaccountable to anyone or for anything. He's famously talked about being able to shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and not to be charged. And now we are seeing him be charged. This is a big shift from what we've seen in the past, and that's the significance of this indictment today. That's why this whole country is watching to see what this process is going to look like involving Donald Trump and waiting to see how he's going to talk about it and what he's going to say in response. Normally, this isn't the kind of time that you would see someone or anyone responding. And 99.9% of the arraignments that you see, you don't have a comment from an individual unless it's outside of the box. They're not represented by counsel or they're having an outburst. But I cannot believe that Donald Trump is going to miss an opportunity to talk about or articulate what his defense is going to be, to articulate what his belief and values are. And we've heard leading up to this indictment all of that rhetoric already.
All right, obviously, certainly, it's certainly a situation.